You're not fooling anyone. I know that I've been sent, or if you're just hanging out with a friend or whatever, and it's like, hey, get a load of this guy. And it's usually because they're trying to be somebody that they're not.
Yes.
And I think that it's easy. It's probably easier even on social media than it is in person to be able to tell that somebody's being inauthentic. I mean, there's something about it. It's like a window into your soul, like that kind of thing. I was thinking as we were having the conversation, like I feel like social media is a teenager. Like I feel like Instagram, like just everything about social media is living your teenage life again. It's like there's cliques, right? There's bullies. There's it's like it's just like being a teenager again. And it's what do you do when you're a teenager? You try and impress a certain group, right? And only in retrospect, when you become a person of a certain age, like we are,
an elder statesman,
that look back and you say like I wasn't being myself. You know what I mean? Like and you feel bad about it, and you regret's the wrong word about it, but you do see that there could have been a different path in a relationship, or how you spoke about whatever it was, that if you just stayed authentic then maybe things would have gone differently. And that's not a regret, but it's like just like reflection. It's just thinking like things would have gone differently if I had just stopped trying to be somebody I wasn't. Things would have gone differently.
And you know what happens, because when you put out your business profile to the world in a social media type way, right? Now you're trying to create your brand image on social media. And if you're not true to that image, if it isn't really you, inevitably the people that know your industry, which are going to be a lot of people that are following you, are going to pick up on that very quickly, right? So if prime example, if we promoted health and wellness because we wanted to be in that, look like, hey, this is the subculture we're in, right? So we do a lot of that. We promote fatherhood, right? If we weren't focusing on eating healthy, if we weren't focusing on, some supplementation, if we weren't focusing on exercise, and if we weren't actually doing that, those people that are and know are going to pick right up on the fact that these guys are completely talking shit. Like they don't even know what it'll be bad advice, right? It would be untimely. It would have all those identifiers that the people in the industry would know. So the easiest thing to do, and the most important thing to do, is just be authentic to your true self. And some of that is allowing your flaws to be front and center. Right. You don't have to be a fitness model to care a lot about fitness, but you can, if you portray your struggles as well as your successes, it makes you relatable and it's authentic, and it's we don't hit a home run every time. Some people, when you follow their social media accounts, you can see that they're trying to give the impression like they're hitting home runs every day. Every day's a home run. And you can see it. It's purely identifiable. Like they're very selective with what they're putting out there. And it goes. Some of the better campaigns that have been out there have actually been by, I think L'Oreal might have done one. And Dove did one. Dove did one of the most successful.
I'm always following those campaigns.
The L'Oreal and Dove ones?
Those are not in my algorithms. And we're in a no judgment
zone. But I do not follow them either, in all honesty. But I did do a lot of research on what are some of the most successful campaigns ever on social media. So I want to, in being knowledgeable and talking to our clients about what kind of has worked right. But what Dove did was really interesting. Dove, pure, clean. They want, right? So they did all of these images about no makeup, nothing, just people just clean and as they are. And they had some really, the traction on it was incredible. Right. Just being authentic, right? Trying to not make everything that's coming up front look like it's this polished, perfect. I mean, I think we do a nice job of that. We post tons of our outtakes, right? On the stuff we do and when we fuck up, because that's part of the process, right? Through the process, and we talk about our failures, right? I talk about the failure on social media. I went down this rabbit hole because that one post, and I think for our listeners, blunt force fact, right? you're not going to fool anyone. So be authentic to where you are and who you are. And if you're working to get somewhere and be something, then great. Shit, let people go on that journey of you working to get there.
I think there's another piece of that too, is especially because most of the people who we target are, small business owners, or they're selling something, they're selling a service, they're selling a product, whatever it is. If your social media presence is far off from your actual product, then there's a disconnect there, and people can see that, right? You're not fooling anybody. It's like, here's the way I'm presenting myself here, and then they meet you in person, or they actually see what it is, then that disconnect can be really, really off-putting. And it's really, really noticeable if you've been on somebody's social media account and then you meet them in person. You're just like, this is like an interesting, different experience. It's not what I was expecting.
Right.
What you want to do is, there can obviously be situations where that's a good thing. But for the most part, if you want everything to line up, everything should be based on business goals, not based on getting people to like your puppy videos, right? It should all be based on business goals. So if I want to reach these business goals, then I want the people who have this experience with me to all line up, right? Because then if I'm doing my job on social media, then when they get here, they're going to make a purchase or a decision.
Right. Right.
And if there's a disconnect, then that just makes that's friction for the person who's making the decision. Do I do business with this person? Do I buy this product? Do I go to this restaurant? Whatever the business happens to be. That friction is a barrier in the process of purchase. And so why have that friction? Keep things consistent so that there's no friction there. There's no rub. It's just, this is who I am. This is what we do. And then when the person comes, you're like, oh, this is what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Because that's the social media experience.
Yeah, absolutely. I like it. You're not fooling anyone.
Mm-hmm.